So with Secret of the Mimic releasing on Friday, I think now is the time for some final predictions. So here are 10 things that we want to see in Secret of the Mimic. So one of the things that I want to see in Secret of the Mimic are springlock suits. So this game takes place in a costume factory, right? From what we see in the trailer and in the Tales from the Pizzaplex story, The Mimic, Murray's Costume Manor was one of Fazbear Entertainment's contractors and was making costumes for them. We know from the PAX demo that Fredbear's Family Diner exists at the time of this game because the pizza boxes and the posters are in the trailer. This makes me think that springlock suits will be needed for Fredbear's, and they do work like a costume after all because, you know, the springlocks make it a costume so that someone can safely wear the suit, but the springlock suits aren't that safe, so maybe Edwin might have had to make springlock suits for Henry or William, who knows. This sort of leads on to my next thing I want to see, which is references to William or Henry. They are the founders of Fazbear Entertainment after all, so maybe we could see some interactions between them and Edwin. Like maybe a business letter or an audio log or something like that. I don't know, I just think that it would be very cool to see some sort of backstory to those characters. William and Henry are really interesting characters, you know, and it would just be such a missed opportunity not to have them in this game. I also want some sort of explanation as to what Mixes is in Ruin. Mixes is this software that was created to keep the Mimic at bay. We learned this in Ruin. Mixes kept the Mimic hidden. That is why we destroy the security nodes in Ruin, because that is what is keeping the Mimic locked in its room beneath the Pizzaplex. But if you look at the Mixes machine, it actually looks quite old. Steele actually said that the old look of the machine was intentional. So whatever Mixes is, it has been around for years and years and years. And in the Help Wanted 2 update, we see Mixes in the exact same van we see pulling up to the factory in the Secret of the Mimic trailer. So I hope we see the origins of Mixes or some sort of involvement in this game. Maybe we use it to stop the Mimic, who knows. I also hope that we get some references to the books. Now, I think it's pretty obvious that we're going to get book references in this game because, well, the Mimic literally started out as a book character. We've already seen some book characters in the trailer, like the Jester mascot and the Mushroom Man, but I think we'll get a lot more than that. Like, I hope we get some references to David and Edwin making the Mimic, you know, like just references to the original Mimic story. I just think it would be cool to see the books and the games finally become one main story, you know. There are so many arguments about the books being in the same universe as the games, and it would be good to finally get some answers, you know. I think Steele will give us answers, because, you know, not everyone's going to read the books. And finally, I want some new lore about Fall Fest. In FNAF, Fall Fest was pretty much this carnival ran by Fazbear Entertainment in the 70s, so it's very old, like before the pizzerias, I can imagine. You see lots of costumes at the carnival. Edwin's factory specifically makes costumes. Edwin could have made costumes for Fall Fest. I think that a suit that we might see that was made for Fall Fest is the physical form of the Glitch Trap suit that we see in Help Wanted. Glitch Trap it looks like a suit with lots of stitches and it just looks really old. It's not an animatronic. It does look like something you would see at like a carnival, you know, like walking around. So what if the original Glitch Trap was made for Fall Fest? Hopefully we get some new Fall Fest lore in this game because it was such a mysterious part of the FNAF timeline. I mean, Fall Fest has been teased since Help Wanted, so it's about time that we finally get some answers about it, you know. And the game takes place in 1979. Fall Fest is in the 70s. It's likely that we'll get something related to Fall Fest, I think. I'm now going to hand it over to that one FNAF guy.
Hello everyone, it's that one FNAF guy, and I am back on Kino's channel. I'm so grateful to be back on this channel. Please subscribe to Kino if you haven't already. And we are talking about Secret of the Mimic. Of course, the newest game releasing in about a week, so I'm very excited. And here are some of the things that I am excited for in this new game. So in the trailer, you can see this staff bot. Dorko dubbed him, "Is that Mr. Shredder?" Now, I love my Shredders, if you know anything about my channel. So yeah, I really do like this character. I believe he is voiced by J-Top. I really do hope we get some lore from the security breach staff bots, because there was a bunch of mysteries surrounding them, including some of the ones I'll throw up on screen. So yeah, I really do hope that Secret of the Mimic get to expand on that. I feel like they will because they have a similar design, but who knows. Another thing I do hope for is Fazbear Entertainment lore. Now, Fazbear Entertainment, it's been a shady company, it always has been. They made games after the real life events in Help Wanted. They're a dodgy company, but I don't think they were always this dodgy. I think it did start off pretty well until William joined. So I really do hope we get to see some lore, maybe of how Edwin made the suits, the original 4 suits. But that is something I do hope for. I mean, we don't know much about them besides like Pizzeria Simulator and Help Wanteds. We do get some teases about how bad they are and like the security breach notes, but it's not enough. We need more. We need some backstory to them. We need some threadbare stuff. We need some OG stuff like the unwithered animatronics. We need to just see them and see how Fazbear Entertainment got this bad in the first place. So I hope Secret of the Mimic can fulfill that for me. Now, I'm a big fan of the mini games in Security Breach. I really do like them. I love the Chica one. I love the Monty Golf. I love all of them. They're really fun. Sometimes I'll just log on just to play them. They're fun. So I do hope we get some more of them in Secret of the Mimic. I can imagine some like carnival ones, maybe. Some old Edwin inventions that were like fun. I don't know. Maybe some he made for David that we didn't hear about. I'm not sure. Like imagine like a mimicking like skipping rope thing where it like adjusts to how fast you jump. That would be pretty cool. We've seen that Edwin has injected all of these machines with like the Mimic Run program. So I wouldn't say some mini games involving that could be too far-fetched. Now, a bit of a stupid one, which I do hope. I hope we get a Jackie's Box reference. I don't know how they would do it, but they got to include it somewhere, include it on like a post-it note, something. I don't know. They've just got to do it because it's built up so much marketing for this game. So I really do hope they reference this song in some way. Maybe it's used in like the end credits. I doubt it, but that would be cool, wouldn't it? Finally, I do hope we get like a fun mechanic similar to the mask in Security Breach Ruin. I just hope there's something fun. We saw the rat mechanic, the squirrel, whatever you want to call it, in the trailer, but that's all we know. But I do hope there's some fun gadgets for us to mess with, some fun mechanics that will just enhance the gameplay. Because I know a lot of this list has been like lore mechanic, but I do want some gameplay stuff in there as well. Now, thank you Kino for having me on again. It's been great. Subscribe to Kino if you haven't, and I'll hand it back to Kino now. Take it away, Kino.
Thank you all so much for watching. Making this has been so fun and I can't wait to stream Secret of the Mimic on Friday. I am so excited for this game. Thank you that one FNAF guy for being a part of this video. Y'all should go check out his channel, he makes good content. And I think that's about everything. I will see you on Friday for the release of the game. Goodbye.